You want results? Then stop making excuses. I don't care where you came from. I don't care who doubted you. I don't care what they said you couldn't do. You've got one job. Get it done. No excuses, no complaints, no blaming your past, your parents, your school, your boss, your environment, or your circumstances. Excuses don't pay bills. Excuses don't build dreams. Excuses don't transform lives. Execution does. Excuses are the silent killers of dreams. They sound reasonable. They feel comfortable. But in the end, they steal time, opportunity, and potential. Every time you make an excuse, you're telling yourself a story about why it's okay to stay where you are. Instead of moving forward, you're giving yourself permission to remain stuck. And sure, the world will give you plenty of reasons to justify not pushing through. Life gets hard. People let you down. Money gets tight. Time feels short. And things don't always go your way. But that's exactly why excuses are so dangerous. Because they feel valid. They let you off the hook without guilt. But no matter how justified the excuse may seem, it still doesn't move you an inch closer to your goals. You can't deposit excuses at the bank. You can't put almost tried on a resume. You don't get rewarded for intention. You get rewarded for execution. And the people who rise, who break through, who create real change in their lives, they're not the ones with the easiest path. They're the ones who refuse to let the obstacles define them. They took ownership. They looked life in the face and said, "This is hard, but I'm not giving up. I'm not waiting. I'm not blaming anybody else. This is on me now." That's accountability. That's power. Because when you take full ownership of your actions, your time, your energy, and your growth, you take back control of your life. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the author of your own story. And the shift is massive. You stop saying, "I can't because," and start asking, "How can I?" You stop looking for a way out and start looking for a way through. You stop hiding behind the comfort of excuses and step into the discomfort of growth. And it's uncomfortable, no doubt about it. Taking accountability means admitting when you messed up, when you didn't follow through, when you wasted time, when you let fear make your decisions. That's not easy to face, but it's necessary, because you can't fix what you don't face, and you can't change what you keep blaming on something or someone else. Accountability means recognizing that your progress, your peace, your performance, it's all your responsibility. It's not on your parents, not your past, not your teacher, not your boss, not your ex, not your environment. It's on you. And when you accept that, everything changes. Suddenly, you're not waiting for someone to come along and give you a chance. You're creating your own. You're not complaining about the lack of opportunity. You're becoming so good they can't ignore you. You're not begging for someone to push you. You're learning how to push yourself. That's what separates people who talk from people who do. That's what builds momentum. That's what creates results. Because when you remove the option to make excuses, you leave yourself with one path. Find a way, period. And it won't be easy. You'll want to quit. You'll have bad days. You'll mess up. That's all part of the process. But when you've committed to accountability, you don't use those moments as an excuse to stop. You use them as fuel to get better. You own your growth like it's your job. And it is. Because no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to care about your dream like you do. No one's going to come and force you to rise. That's on you. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop saying someday. Stop saying I would. And start showing up like your life depends on it. Because it does. The future you're dreaming of, the level you want to reach, the goals you keep writing down, they all require the version of you that refuses to make excuses. The version of you that shows up, no matter what. The version that doesn't get everything right, but keeps getting better. The version that falls, but doesn't stay down. That's the one who wins. That's the one who finishes what they start. That's the one who doesn't need approval or applause. They just need that mirror. Because when you know you're doing the work, when you know you're being honest with yourself, when you know you're not making excuses, you sleep better. You walk taller, and you live with power. And that's what it's really about. Not perfection, but power. Personal power. The power to take responsibility, to make decisions, to get back up, and to keep going. That's what changes lives. Not luck, not talent, not shortcuts. Accountability, the willingness to say, it's on me, and the discipline to back it up with action every single day. So next time you hear that little voice in your head trying to justify the excuse, cut it off. Remind yourself excuses are comfortable, but they don't serve me. I've got work to do. I've got places to be. I've got goals to crush. And nothing, no excuse, no fear, no failure is going to stop me from becoming the person I know I was born to be. Everybody wants to be motivated. Everybody wants that fire, that excitement, that feeling that pushes you to get out of bed and attack the day like you're unstoppable. But let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. Motivation is a mood. It comes and it goes. It's a spark, not a flame. It might get you started, but it will never keep you going. That's why the most successful people in any field, from athletes to entrepreneurs to artists, don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline, because discipline shows up when motivation disappears. Discipline is the part of you that doesn't care if you feel like it or not. It just gets the job done. It's cold, it's consistent, and it's powerful. Motivation might get you to the gym on Monday, but discipline is what brings you back on Thursday, when your body's sore, your schedule's packed, and your mind is telling you to take a break. Motivation might help you start a business, but discipline is what gets you through the slow months, the setbacks, the stress, the silence. Motivation is exciting. Discipline is effective. It's the difference between a sprinter and a marathon runner. One burns out fast. The other keeps going, regardless of how it feels. That's what discipline does. It ignores the emotions. It silences the excuses. And it focuses on the mission. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't want to. That's real strength. That's what builds character. That's how you separate yourself from the rest. Most people are slaves to how they feel. If they don't feel inspired, they don't act. If they're not in the mood, they delay. And then they wonder why their goals stay goals and never become reality. But the ones who win, the ones who grow, the ones who rise, they've learned how to master themselves. They don't wait for inspiration to strike. They strike first. They get up when the alarm goes off. Not because they're excited about the day, but because they made a commitment to themselves. And when you keep the promises you make to yourself, you build trust, you build self-respect, you become someone who follows through. And when you do that long enough, you start to believe in your ability to finish. You start to see results, and that builds momentum. Discipline feeds progress, and progress fuels purpose. It becomes a cycle, not an easy one, but a powerful one. People often say, I wish I was more motivated. But what you really need is to be more disciplined. You need a system, not a feeling. You need a routine that works even when your energy doesn't, because your emotions are unreliable. Your feelings are fragile, but your habits, your structure, that's your foundation. That's what holds you up when life tries to knock you down. There will be days when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when nothing seems to be working. And on those days, motivation will be nowhere to be found. But if you've built discipline, you'll keep moving. You'll do the work. You'll take the steps. And that's how you grow. That's how you evolve. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. You're not just completing a task. You're shaping your identity. You're becoming someone who finishes what they start, someone who shows up consistently, someone who can be counted on. That's where the confidence comes from. That's where the peace comes from. Not from hype, not from motivation, but from the quiet pride of knowing you're doing what most people won't. Discipline doesn't look glamorous. It's not flashy. It's waking up early when no one's watching. It's turning off the distractions when no one's keeping score. It's putting in the reps, showing up to practice, studying when you could be relaxing. It's sacrificing the short-term pleasure for the long-term vision. But the payoff is worth it, because discipline compounds. It grows. Every small action, every repeated behavior is I'll do it anyway. Moment adds up, and over time you'll look back and realize you didn't just get stronger, you became unstoppable. You didn't just build skills, you built unshakable character. And people will ask how you did it, and they'll assume it was some big breakthrough or secret strategy. But you'll know the truth. You'll know it wasn't about being motivated every day. It was about showing up anyway. And that's the lesson most people miss. Success doesn't belong to the most inspired. It belongs to the most disciplined. So if you're waiting to feel ready, you're already losing time. If you're depending on motivation, you're building your future on a shaky foundation. Instead, build your discipline like a muscle. Train it, stretch it, test it, strengthen it. Because when motivation fails, and it will fail. Your discipline will be the reason you keep climbing. Your discipline will be the reason you rise. No one is coming to save you. Let that sink in. The truth that most people don't want to face is that the only person responsible for your success, your happiness, and your future is you. There's no knight in shining armor, no magical moment that's going to change everything. It's on you to rise, to grind, and to figure it out. Waiting for someone to come and hand you the life you want is one of the biggest traps you can fall into. It's easy to blame others, your parents, your teachers, your boss, the system, your circumstances. It's easy to say, if only I had more resources, if only I had the right connections, if only I had the right opportunity. But listen to me, that mindset keeps you stuck. It keeps you dependent. It keeps you small. You have everything you need right now. You have the power to change your life, but only if you stop waiting for someone else to change it for you. No one is going to show up at your door and hand you your dreams. No one is going to give you the perfect job, the perfect relationship, or the perfect life. You can't sit around wishing for the perfect circumstances to line up. You've got to make it happen yourself. If you want something, you have to go after it. You have to chase it down. You've got to be the one to take ownership, take responsibility, and take action. Because here's the reality. Life doesn't owe you anything. No one is going to feel sorry for you. No one is going to hand you success on a silver platter. No one is going to make the hard decisions for you. The people who achieve their goals, the people who break through, the people who succeed, they understand that. They know they can't rely on anyone else to give them the life they want. They get up every day and push themselves, even when they don't feel like it. They don't wait for a perfect opportunity. They create their own. They don't wait for others to validate them. They validate themselves. The sooner you realize that you are your own savior, the sooner you will start making real progress. You've got to stop waiting for permission. You've got to stop waiting for someone else's approval. You've got to stop waiting for someone to tell you it's your turn. It's your turn now. You have the power to change your life. But it starts with taking responsibility. No one is going to hold your hand through the tough times. No one is going to carry you to the finish line. You've got to do the work. You've got to make the sacrifices. You've got to take the risks. You've got to be willing to fall down, get back up, and keep going, no matter what. And that's where most people fail. They don't want to put in the work. They want the results without the effort. They want the success without the struggle. But that's not how it works. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to go through the grind. You have to face the challenges. You have to overcome the obstacles. You have to do the things other people won't do. And you can't wait for someone to do it for you. That's why you need to stop looking for external validation. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're doing a good job. Stop looking for someone to applaud your efforts. You've got to be your own biggest cheerleader. You've got to be the one who believes in yourself when no one else does. You've got to be the one who keeps going when others are quitting. You've got to be the one who pushes through when the world tells you to stop. The truth is, no one is watching out for you as much as you should be watching out for yourself. You can't expect someone else to see your potential before you see it. You can't expect someone else to value your dreams more than you do. You have to be the one who invests in yourself. You have to be the one who bets on yourself when no one else will. And when you do that, when you take full responsibility for your future, when you stop looking for others to solve your problems, when you take control of your own life, that's when things start to change. That's when you realize you don't need anyone's permission to live the life you want. You already have everything you need to succeed, but it starts with the belief that you can do it and the understanding that no one is going to do it for you. So stop waiting for someone to hand you the blueprint. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Stop waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now. The right time is when you decide that you are done waiting, that you are done making excuses, that you are done looking for someone else to take the lead. It's your life, your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And once you embrace that responsibility, once you stop looking for external solutions and start becoming the solution yourself, everything changes. The fear, the doubt, the uncertainty, it starts to fade because you know deep down that you are capable. You've got the power. You've got the resilience. You've got the drive. And when you stop waiting for someone to save you, that's when you truly start to live. The power of small, consistent actions is something most people overlook. It's easy to get caught up in the belief that success requires huge, dramatic moves or big moments of brilliance. The reality is, the difference between those who make it and those who don't is often not about the grand gestures, but about the small, everyday decisions. You might not see the immediate effects of those small actions, and that's where most people fail. They want fast results. They want instant gratification, and when they don't see things changing right away, they stop. But what they don't realize is that success is built on the compound effect of the little things done consistently over time. It's the tiny deposits made each day that create massive results down the road. Every time you choose to do something that moves you toward your goal, no matter how small, you're laying the foundation for the future you want. But it's not just about doing the big things. It's about showing up every day and doing what needs to be done, even when it seems insignificant. You don't get in shape by running a marathon once. You get in shape by putting in the effort every single day, even when it feels like you're not making progress. You don't become a successful entrepreneur by taking a few big risks. You become one by showing up, solving problems, and doing the work day in and day out. You don't master a skill by practicing once a month. You master it by putting in the hours every single day, even when it feels hard. Small actions are the building blocks of your future success, and the beauty of it is, these actions don't require motivation. They just require consistency. You don't have to feel inspired to make progress. You just have to be willing to show up and do the work. It's not about how much you do in one day. It's about how much you do over the course of weeks, months, and years. One extra hour of study every day doesn't feel like much at the time, but after a year, that's 365 extra hours you've put in that others haven't. One more hour at the gym, one more page of a book, one more call to a potential client. It all adds up, and what starts as a small effort grows into something massive. You're not just building your skills or knowledge, you're building your confidence, your momentum, and your identity. You become someone who keeps going. You become someone who doesn't quit when things get hard. You become someone who can trust themselves to do what they say they will. And that's where the real power lies. It's in the consistency. It's in the belief that the small actions you take today, though they may seem insignificant in the moment, will pay off in the future. The key is to trust the process. Trust that every small action matters, even if you can't see the results immediately. Success isn't instant. It's a long game, a journey that takes time. But if you keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and keep making those small decisions that push you forward, you'll look up one day and realize you've come farther than you ever thought possible. Think about a snowball rolling down a hill. At first it's small, it's insignificant, but as it rolls, it picks up speed, it picks up momentum, and by the time it reaches the bottom, it's massive. Your daily actions are that snowball. They may feel small in the moment, but over time, they build momentum. The little things compound. The small decisions add up. The effort you put in today will pay off tomorrow, and the results you get tomorrow are a direct reflection of the work you did today. That's why you can't afford to neglect the small things. You can't afford to skip the effort because it doesn't feel big enough or important enough. The truth is, it's those small actions that will change your life. The decision to work an extra hour instead of watching TV. The decision to read a chapter of a book every night. The decision to invest in your personal growth every day. These choices seem small, but they're the ones that will shape your future. And the most important part, you can't skip the process. You can't take shortcuts. You can't jump to the finish line. Every small action counts, and over time, it builds a life that is a reflection of your efforts. The person you are in the future will be the result of the small decisions you make now. So don't get discouraged when you don't see big changes right away. Trust the process. Trust that the small steps you're taking are making a difference, even when they don't feel like it. Progress is not always linear. Sometimes you won't see immediate results, but every small step, every action, every effort is taking you closer to your goal. In fact, the more consistent you are, the more you will see the results compound over time. And when you look back, you'll realize that all those small, seemingly insignificant actions added up to something big. In the end, it's the daily habits, the small actions, and the persistence that create long-term success. So make a commitment today to focus on the small things. Stop waiting for the big breakthrough and start making the small everyday choices that will shape your future. Because every small action you take now is setting the foundation for a massive future ahead. It's the little things that matter. It's the consistency. It's the daily grind. And that's how you win.